I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. Hey, what's up, everybody? You know, this show runs on cannabis. That's what we do. We run on cannabis. Why? Why do we do that? Because it calms us. We want to be calm in these crazy times. If you want to be calm as well, then whether it's CBD, which is legal in 50 states, there's no getting high properties to it. It just takes the edge off. Then you need to go to Teebs of Adrian or Teebs.green. And then if you want to get a little high, because you need that little extra whatever, then get a little THC in there, then you can maybe take a little gummy, maybe do a little puff, whatever you want to do. Teebs of Adrian can help you. And Gina just got this miracle salve.
What?
That's why she's late this morning.
Yes, I apologize, Teebs. Maybe it was a poor choice of words on like some of your like the guy who put this together, but maybe ointment, maybe lotion,
Ointment is gross too.
maybe even balm. How do you feel about balm? Like they have a lovely balm.
Yes.
Okay, there's a moist balm.
No.
It puts the balm in the basket.
Yeah.
Salve only goes on your butt, I think.
Yeah.
This goes wherever. She's been handing it out to people because
Just randomly handing out salve.
to anyone that needs anyone that's in pain, and the pain goes away instantly. My wife's been having nasty back pain, and it's
Donnie
pretty
needs it
amazing.
for his toe.
Oh, Donnie,
Dude.
you need to get some salve, ointment, balm, whatever.
Yes, I really do. I asked Ashley when I got home from work yesterday. I was like, "Babe, did you get your CBD? I need to put it on my foot." I really did.
All right,
She's
here we
like,
go.
No, I didn't get it yet.
Teebs.green. Let's do this.
And now, our feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z. I love that Andrew Z. I said Andrew Z. In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z. In the morning, yeah. Come on.
What is up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the show. It is Thursday, March 25th, 2021, in the year of our Lord, Demetrius Nicodemus, Christopher H. Esquire Tiefel, Donald P. Halicki, Ashley P. Georgia. Hold on, I'm going to put this salve on my bottom. Let's start the show.
Andrew Z. In the morning.
Woo!
Whoa!
What's up, everybody? Good morning. It has been a rough week for me. I've been doing too many things, and I'm whipped. What day is today? Friday? I don't even know.
Today is
feels like it should
Thursday,
be.
baby.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah.
Because if it was, then none of us would be on right now.
That's
Oh.
true.
It is true.
I'm hurting.
Yeah,
I'm
we
hurting
just
as well.
don't have it in us to do 5 days.
Yeah. So now, Donnie, I know that you hurt your. How did you hurt your toe again? I forgot.
I dropped a grill scraper
Oh yeah.
on my long toe, and I've been
You
in
were
pain ever since.
And you were wearing the white boy uniform, right? Sandals and shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
sandals and
actually, tight sweatpants. Actually, I was looking pretty stylish. If I might say so myself.
Yeah.
All right. Drop on your toe. You think you broke it, and that was on over the weekend, and now here it is Thursday, and it's still hurting. Is it hurting worse or the same? Or
It's getting better. It's just we've been really busy at work, so it's like Monday was like okay, then Tuesday I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. But yesterday I was in so much pain I almost left home I almost went home from work early.
Your wife just laughed at you.
Oh, Don.
Your wife was like, toe pain almost brought him home.
Right. Right. She's laughing. She goes to work for 2.5 hours a day.
Oh,
so it's like, you know,
Whoa,
I know it's
fired.
hard. Yeah. Hey, I'm very defensive of my toe pain.
Listen,
It's an issue. It's an issue in this home right now.
Toe pain will make you lash out. A lot of people don't understand that. Pain in general.
Donnie, Donnie feels comfortable saying stuff like that because they bought a really comfortable couch.
I feel like we've just gone into the Palicki living room and
right.
Yes.
Right. Like this
you
is
know what?
like
I'm
they just
used to that. It's fine.
like they just had a dinner party and everything was cool, and then all of a sudden, like one thing was said, and now it's uncomfortable in the house. Like everybody's like, should we leave? I feel like we shouldn't wait for dessert. I feel like this is personal.
Oh, it's getting so late. 6:30. Oh, the time change.
No. I think I only have time for the salad, guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta go.
A lot of stuff.
Can we pack this up into a doggy bag?
Yeah. You have to go, Patrick.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll wash the containers and I'll bring them back for sure. Just stick my stuff in.
Dave, I'm sorry that you're so defensive about your toe, and I am really concerned about it, but I did not know that you were considering coming home from work for it. That took me by surprise. I can't lie. Okay. And I'm sure that like Jason and all them would have been super understanding about it too. Like, sorry, I got to go home. My broken toe.
I think there are women out. I think there are women out there that have gone through birth that are Donald. They're rolling their eyes, but us men, we understand. Hurt toe, and you're doing a lot of walking, and it's a big lot, and it's a big showroom, and you got to show people around.
They can talk about pain all they want. They're laying down.
This is definitely up there with childbirth. I can tell.
I'm pretty sure, Donnie, that you're right.
It was just, it's so funny that she was like, look, I was surprised. That's why I laughed out loud. It wasn't anything. It just struck me as being ridiculous as somebody who just carried 3 human beings in their tiny body. And then to hear that you were considering coming home for your long toe injury.
The longest toe ever.
Donald is just Demetrius is just translating what Ashley just said. That was the actual translation. Go ahead, Donnie.
I just wouldn't mind if Ashley called up the athletic store, ordered me a medal for going to work all week with a broken toe. I can wear it around my neck.
Oh yeah, this is one of those situations where the wife needs to know the message behind the message. So like, AKA, I guess I'm not giving him enough attention right now. So I've got to step it up a little bit.
Yes,
I will get your medal ordered, babe.
Yeah, he is reaching out through his long toe to tell you that he needs more emotional support from you right now.
His toe is like the ET finger, like
talk to me, touch me, love me.
Babe, did you tell them about your toe bandage that you got?
You got a toe bandage?
Oh my God.
Look at Donnie.
Dude, this is like Groundhog Day.
Donnie, you want to show your toe bandage?
We went to Walmart pharmacy and bought like these little foam toe bandages. Is really the only way to explain it, but they were too small. Like they don't fit on my toe.
He needed 2 with duct tape.
First of all,
he needs a pool noodle.
They're so big.
Bandage.
When I looked at them, I was like, "There's no way that's gonna fit you. Like you're gonna have to cut those. Those are huge." And we get home and he can't even get his toe in it. I was like, "Oh my God, how big is this toe?" Like I've never.
You guys want
it before.
a toe update?
So it's a toe sling. It's like a toe sling. It's like
pretty much.
Why didn't you just go to the doctor and have him put the world's tiniest cast on?
Oh, look, he's literally taking a picture of his foot.
I told him to just
this.
go to the doctor and just get it over with, so they can tell him that like there's nothing we can do for this. Quit your bitching.
Unfortunately, there's nothing to do. I don't think. But yeah, if you want to go to urgent care, those are for now. The urgent care is for men that have to go in somewhere, but they know it's not. They know it's not. They don't need to go to ER. So, hospitals just started building urgent cares, which are basically just doctors' offices that you walk into, and they tell you there's nothing you can do. Go home. That's all.
That's so true. Urgent cares for like single men and men who have wives who don't give a shit.
Yeah,
and that is what they walk. They're like, oh, hi, I got a cough, and they're like, what, did Mary just tell you to fuck off? Is that why you're here? And she
listen. I was very supportive and kind to him about it, but
that's why, doctor. Can I call you a doctor even though you're just a nurse practitioner? Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll call you. Look.
Sorry, babe.
If they're giving me drugs, I'm calling them doctor. Okay.
Yeah, they don't.
Yes, that's exactly what I call that guy on the corner, Doctor. Look, Q Dog, Doctor Q Dog.
The urgent
Dr. Dookie shoes.
Dookie shoes.
My main concern is that like I broke the tip off and that it's not going to reconnect.
That's what he keeps saying. He feels like it's dangling. I'm like, well, I assure you, it's all there. It's still intact. I promise. Not falling off. I promise you.
I broke into a brisk jog yesterday and it was dangling. I'm telling you,
Donnie,
it's not connected.
Do you feel that the whole phalange, I don't know, toe phalange, I don't know what you call a toe phalange.
That's a phalange, you're right.
Do you feel the whole phalange then is one bone, and that at the end you've cut the bone off, so it's just hanging? Like now there might be two bones in that giant toe?
I think that I blasted the end bone so hard that it just disintegrated. And it's just toe bone fragments.
A boneless toe?
Yeah.
Ooh. So you have bone in and boneless.
Yeah.
There's the update.
The real update is that he still hasn't shaved his toes.
I know. It does look worse today. It does look worse today.
Hey,
that's just a healing.
I did the up close just for D.
That's healing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine, babe. I promise.
Fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna defend Donnie. At first, I was sitting here like, I was in a whole car accident and went to a meeting. Andrew? Like 2 hours after that. So I'm sitting over here like, come on, Donnie. But
if you've ever spatula on his toe, come on.
If you've ever had blood underneath your nail, it builds up a lot of pressure, and that really does hurt.
It does hurt. I believe that he's really hurt. I do, but I like to tease him too about it.
Yeah, it's not
about the pain.
It's not gonna fall off. The one thing maybe that'll fall off is that horrible nail toupee that you have on that Frodo knuckle. But like
Frodo
knuckle.
Babe, good job working. I'm so proud of you, and you've sold so many cars this week too.
Yes, I mean, honestly, you are literally like that, Rudy. You were like Rudy, fighting through all the adversity.
Yes,
every day to finally get you. Yeah,
I cannot.
Yeah, Donnie.
Oh, you know what? You need Donnie.
Donnie. What, are you going to show us the butt salve?
It's not butt salve. This is what I got, and I was like super skeptical. I'm like, they said, "Oh, you have pain. This will help." So I got it, and it's kind of expensive. Like I didn't even realize how much it was. So like after I paid, I'm like, "Wait, that was a lot of money." So it's a little bit expensive. So so I was a little irritated when I got home, and then I put it on, and like within 5 minutes, it was my Achilles tendon is hurting so bad from that accident. So I put this on, and within 5 minutes, you guys, I swear to God, it was fine. I called Andrew.
Don't say that out loud. Your Achilles tendon still hurts. It is in pain constantly. Let me tell you, as we lay down this timeline, the only thing that has really affected it is maybe the thought of someday holding my children and running and playing again. I have been crippled from this accident. It hurts.
We found Dee's next job. It's working for lawyers as patient advocates or accident advocates.
Yeah. So obviously, my client is in pain because she is saying the dumbest shit I have ever heard.
He coaches people on how to properly describe their pain.
Right.
So, but here's the thing: is it does still hurt. It's not like the pain's completely gone, but I could not walk. It like hurt so bad, and now, and that wasn't a de-exaggeration. That was real. Like it really hurt. But now, after I put it on, I can at least I can walk. So it's this.
That's her salve I was telling you about. I told him about your salve, that it's like a miracle stuff.
First of all, that says compound and doesn't say salve. There's a reason.
Transdermal. They use some fancy words on that.
I've actually heard of that stuff.
This stuff? I never
heard of it.
How do you do this?
Yeah,
it's really hard to do.
That.
Those makeup tutorial people should get
you got
paid
it right.
money. This is hard to do.
Transdermal compound.
So this was what I said to Andrew. I'm like, listen, like there's a lot of money to pay for something if you don't know if it's going to work or not. I sound like a freaking advertisement, and this I swear this is just a testimonial. So if anybody really wanted to try it, I would be willing to share. It is really expensive though, so it can only be a little part that hurts. It can't be like your whole back can't hurt. I'm not sharing that much. But Donnie, I will bring this to you today, and you can try this on your toe and see if it will work.
Are you sure? Because it's a big toe, and it's going to use a decent.
Yeah,
this is a little thing.
There.
Will this work? I don't know if this will work for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hope to someday have Gina money where I can go in and buy something without knowing how expensive it is, and then being upset later.
Have money. Believe what I didn't think of it. I stuck the card in, and then they told me the total, and but I didn't want to. Like,
you can't take it back.
Well, I'm already committed.
Yeah,
and he'd be like, "No, I'm not doing that." And so like, she said the total, and I'm like, "Oh." And then I was thinking like, oh, I have to go home. So what I ended up accidentally spending, you guys, oh my God, this is so bad. I accidentally spent $200. But I did get a lot of.
That is not an accident. Nobody accidentally. You know what,
I do,
honey? Like I accidentally spent.
At a dispensary, guys.
No.
Yeah, but the only people that accidentally spend that amount of money are people that have like $2 billion.
No, they don't.
I'm walking proof that that's not true.
They don't accidentally spend $200. They just don't care where $200 goes. No one accidentally drops $200. You can't look somebody in the eye and seriously tell them, "Hey, babe, I accidentally spent $200." You know why? Because no. You know what? Because here's the thing. If you accidentally spent it, then you could accidentally take that shit back, right?
Not when it's food. I always do it at the grocery. Like $100 is my limit, and then I like go crazy and I needed this, and then I scan out and it's $200, and I'm like, oh God, I'm in so much trouble.
Here's what's interesting, and I'm seeing a gender divide, because I see Gina, Ashley, and I guarantee Colleen has accidentally spent $200.
Yes.
I've never accidentally spent $200. Tiefel, have you accidentally spent $200?
Donnie,
I've
don't lie.
Spent two.
Oh, I love spending money.
Yeah,
I'm with the ladies on this one.
Really?
The only thing I like doing more than making money is spending it.
Yep.
You know what? Like, and I will tell you, I don't accidentally spend $200. I will spend $200 and worry about the consequences later. But I never accidentally spent $200. My wife has never accidentally spent $200 ever.
Yeah,
she's a little more disciplined than I am.
I can honestly say I make some pretty poor decisions when it comes to money, but it's never been an accident. It's always been purposeful idiocy.
Yeah.
What do you think is the dumbest thing that you've done with money, and you then regret it? Like spent money and then you're like, wow.
College.
That one, yes.
Not real estate college, but the college I went to for 7 years and didn't get a degree for. That's probably the stupidest one.
Same scenario. Oh, I hate my students.
Oh, I get so mad about it too, but whatever. It's done.
Colleen was the same. She's like got a semester away from graduating and then got pregnant and blah blah blah. And
Same here.
Yep.
Pregnancy.
A damn pregnancy. Damn kids.
They were worth it though, but at the time I was
Really?
like, what have I done?
Really?
I
Were
would
they
do
worth
I
it?
would do kids again, but I wouldn't do college again. I would
Same.
go back. I wouldn't
Unless-
have done the college.
Unless I got to like do the real college experience of like going to the university away from home, staying and being there for 4 years, like doing that, I would. But like I went to community college and spent all of my own money and took out student loans on my own, and that's just not worth it.
I remember I remember my first wife and we got together. Well, it's the second Michelle, the second one. But I always forget the first. The first decision was a weird one, but the second Michelle, she was 18 and I was 28, and so she went away to college. So I still lived in her hometown, did a morning show, and then on the weekends I would visit her at college. And I didn't go to college, so it was the greatest experience. Like we would stay in the loft, and she had a roommate, and then I would bring the alcohol, and
you
Oh, that's fine.
grown ass creepy dude. What the?
You must have been doing something right. She married him.
yeah, it's a creepy when I had 2 kids with her.
Because she couldn't afford alcohol. She needed a regular connection.
Can I ask just real quick? Were you her first sexual experience?
Yes.
That's not fair to tell her story.
Oh, I
What?
don't know.
I just want to know what place in line he was. Like, if he was like the third person to visit the restaurant, I would go, okay. Evidently, that restaurant been open and serving burgers for a while. But if he was the first person at the grand opening and then wouldn't let anybody else in the restaurant because that's the only burger she ever knew, then that's like, honestly, that's like yanking up, a baby and going, okay, until you're old enough, I'm just going to keep you right here. You know what I'm saying?
Do you realize
he had no experience?
I don't understand anything that just happened in the last 90 seconds.
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Go ahead, Donnie.
This is a little out there. This song might be too old for people to realize this, but the explanation of your relationship with Michelle is kind of the storyline of the song "Just a Friend" by Biz Markie.
Yeah, except hers has been, but you say it's just your dad, but you say it's why is he 28 and sleeping in here?
Like they meet at a show, he goes to see her at college. Like it's like the whole story of the song.
Oh yeah, I'm not very good at lyrics and songs, but I know. So anyway, but I loved staying in the dorm, and then the cafeteria was downstairs, so I'd put on my sandals. And I'd walk down to the cafeteria, and and the food was really cheap. Like I'd get pancakes and all kinds of stuff, and then just slide her card. And
this entire relationship was based on convenience. Like Andrew wanted free, plentiful buffet food, and she wanted alcohol. Plus, this was not the basis for a loving marriage.
Plus, I was very.
It sounds like it. That's a good start for me.
I was I was very popular in the dorm. Like all the kids would be like, "Hey, what's up? Is Michelle's the boyfriend? What's up?" And I'd be like, "Hey, it's Julian." Whatever.
You go like this. You're like, so let me get this straight. I can pile this plate full of pancakes and sausage, and all I got to do is slide this card. Just slide this card, and it's like $4, and I can. That's wow.
And I just walked downstairs. Like I wouldn't have to get into a car or anything. I just walk downstairs and there's food aplenty, any type of food I want. And I just slide a card. It was the greatest thing ever.
What college did she go to?
So fun. She went to the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Wow.
Did she not eat?
And then what? Why?
Did she not eat? I mean, you're using her freaking cafeteria privileges.
I went down a little more often.
Like to make up for it? Is that what you're saying?
Who filled the card?
And then I was even her dad.
Her dad? Yeah, I was gonna say
those cards usually have like an amount for a semester, and they're usually like a pretty good amount.
Do you know what's plenty. So funny?
Right.
It's like college and prison have so much in common because people have to put shit on your books for you to eat. Like you just like you can't show up and have nothing on your card. You will starve.
Andrew enjoyed the college experience so much he manifested it into his adult life of Jail. Oh, I love this.
Both scenarios, you get
being
the
in
fancy
a-
Robin is money.
I actually, all I could think of, I have good experiences when it comes to, like, for some reason, my memory is really bad on things, and I think that's why people are like, well, why have things happen? Why do you have a positive attitude? Because I don't remember it. I just don't remember. But all I remember is positive stuff, like the guys playing pool, and everyone wanted to talk to me. Like everyone always wanted to talk to me, so we would just
see. This is why you would not be a good motivational speaker for children, because you don't tell the proper stories. Like he's like, hey man, I heard you can play pool in prison. This shit sounds fun.
It was play pool, cards, watch TV, walk the track. I mean, that's all we did all day.
You'd be a terrible dare presenter.
Oh my God,
it's just a coping mechanism. It's totally normal.
And no one could
Go
get a
ahead.
hold of me, so I could just, I didn't have to worry about what was going on the outside. And
I did 10 days and work release. God, words are hard. And it was miserable. It was awful. I hate the
10
food.
days in what, Gino? Sorry.
In work release for driving under suspension.
Oh.
And it was the food was so bad. It was enough to I immediately got my license, and I have not done anything since then. I'll pay my insurance before I'll eat. Like, I'm not about to ever let my license get suspended again, because the food in jail is the most disgusting shit I've ever even seen, had. It is exactly as bad as it is in the movies. It's awful.
Yeah.
it's funny, and it's very well. It's very what is potato start? Is it starchy? What is the carb? It's very carb loaded. The food there, and the food to me wasn't bad. It was just carb loaded, and I gave up during that time a lot of the carbs. And
Oh my God, it's awful. Horrible.
Like people would take my bread and stuff because I wasn't eating it, and I actually came
Really,
out-
because you weren't eating it, or they were just coming up and taking your bread.
Oh no,
They were-
Anyway.
Yeah,
It's
they were
okay.
taking my.
you don't need that.
They kept on yelling. Like, first they take my bread, and then everybody would yell for some odd reason. Like their call would be like they take my bread and they go bitch, and then but I think that's just their call. I don't know if they were just calling me a bitch or if that was just like them like yelling out their motto, like snatching bread, going bitch.
Thank you. It was their thank you. And so, but I just gave up carbs in there, and I ended up losing. It's funny because when I left prison, I was at my lowest adult weight that I can remember, and today I weighed myself, and I am at the lowest adult weight that I can remember.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know
That's
how
so
long.
good.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very cool.
So was that lower than your adult prison weight loss, or is that the same? Like, are you at your prison weight loss? You're less now?
Than my prison weight loss.
That's awesome.
Because then you have time to. So I would get up. I would you go to breakfast. Then I would work out, and then I would go take a little nappy, and then I would go out on the track. I mean, there was just a lot of physical stuff to
nappy.
You know why? You know why? Because big people don't get invited to the escape. Like nobody digs a big person hole in the wall. They all have to be skinny. Like big people get ignored in prison because like they have to do all their time. Nobody ever goes, "Hey, Andrew, we're gonna break out," but you're responsible for digging the bigger circumference in this fucking. You can't find a poster to cover that in prison. That's like a tapestry. You gotta get a
fat head.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like nobody's gonna like. People would be like, "So here's your area rug that you ordered. What's this for, dude? I just need some art on my wall."
Go ahead, Donnie.
No, that was it. The poster joke.
You going over the fence or under the fence? Because that's I need to know before I make it.
Yeah. Either way, we're digging or.
All right. So this portion of the show brought to you in part by Teebs, as Gina said, Teebs.green. They got the what is that called again? Compound.
Mary's
Transdermal.
The kids called it God Cream because I was so happy after I used it, so they were really excited.
There it is.
Oh wait, this is the other thing. Wait, I gotta see if I can find it quick because
I think Demetrius and I are while she finds it. I think Demetrius and I are going to roll up there on Saturday.
Did you get anything fun, D?
Huh?
No, we're going up Saturday. Oh, Awakening mints.
Which seems counterintuitive for weed.
No, it's sativa.
Oh.
Right.
It's sativa.
Right.
So it's I don't know. We're about to find out. Let's see we got 20 minutes left in the show, and I ate it about a half hour ago.
All right.
You'll know in a minute.
and they have so a lot of people's pets, they have anxiety. They have pet anxiety medication. So check it out at Teeps. And then also real quick, I got to say hi to my friends at Lufka All Naturals in Perrysburg. These people, Donnie, for your toe, you could soak your toesies in the water with a little bath bomb. You need a nice bath with a little bath bomb, and they make all their own homemade stuff. Like I use their homemade mint toothpaste. It's like a charcoal mint toothpaste, which is like healthier for you because it doesn't have all the bullshit that the big companies put in it. And they've just done their grand reopening. It's a really cute store, and you can bring your own jar and then fill it with whatever your stuff to smell good or feel good or whatever. So it's Lufka, all natural in Paris. All right, you remember John Myers? If you may not, but John's the kid that would walk every day to Best Buy from his house.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it was several miles away. He would
Aww.
walk.
What up, buddy?
Never missed a day of work, and then all of a sudden, friggin' Best Buy just downsized his position, and he loved his job. He loved helping people. He worked in the cell phone area of the store, and poor John got downsized, and he was really bummed. His brother reached out to people on Facebook. Hey, my brother just got downsized from Best Buy. And even after all that, he wouldn't badmouth the company. He's like, dude, that was the best place I ever worked. So, a lot of people could be bitter because they lost their job, but not John Myers. He wasn't bitter. He had a great positive attitude, and he has some news to share with us right now. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, buddy. Now, John, so your last day at Best Buy, take us through as people know you're leaving, and was it sad? Was it what take us through? What was it like?
I mean, it was kind of a mix of sad but happy at the same time. I mean, most of the managers were like, "We're gonna miss you. If you ever get a chance to come back, please come back." But I mean, overall, it was just kind of like, for me, I was happy just to go through the final day and then be done with it.
And then what did you do after, like your first day? You didn't have to walk to Best Buy. What's going through your mind?
It felt weird, but I got to sleep in and just spend a lot of time watching TV. If anything.
And then as you're looking for work, like where were you looking? I know you, like, some of your dream jobs were like Target, or you'd kind of mentioned a couple of them. Looking for work.
So like Target, like by that time frame, Target basically told me no. Of course, they never hire anybody.
What do you mean? What do you mean they never? What does that mean?
They just, like, I did the interview process, and then a couple of days later, I ended up getting an email from them saying, "Hey, we chose not to go any further with you." And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll move on. So then I went to the mall, started talking to like the manager at GameStop and the manager of like Hot Topic, and they're like, "Well, we don't have any open spots." But the manager at GameStop was like, "You're a really nice person and everything. You put an application in, any other store will look into an employee like that." And a couple of days later, I got a notification from another GameStop that wanted to give me an interview.
Awesome.
Wow. And then so you go to the interview, and then what?
Did the interview with that manager. He said, "You did a great job. You might hear back in a couple of days," because the manager at the time had just told me he was going on a week vacation at the time. So I waited for a week, and then that, which was last Friday, I ended up getting a text message from my brother telling me, "Hey, there's the district manager that called that manager back, and he wants to do a follow-up interview." So about 2 days ago, did the follow-up interview with the district manager, and about An hour later, I got a phone call from the other manager of the store offering me a job again.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
man.
Awesome. I remember that was one of your top choices.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's awesome, man. Well, good for you, brother. And then have you started or when do you start?
Tomorrow will be my first day.
Oh,
John, do you work on commission at GameStop?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Which GameStop is it? I want to come in and say hi because I have some shopping I have to do anyway.
It is on Monroe Street. It's right next to Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
So, are you John? How far is this from your house?
It's much closer.
And
Oh,
are you
Nice.
are you going to be walking to this gig as well?
Yes.
All right. Now, here's my next statement real quick is John, I just want to tell you you tell a story that is amazing. It has a great intro and it builds and builds and builds until I almost passed out when you finally told me that you got this gig. I am literally emotionally tired right now. You have taken me through every level of emotion from sadness now to joy. And now I need a nap, John. Damn it.
A little nappy.
you need some of those awakenments that.
Yes, man.
Oh no,
Man, I had the craziest weed dream that I was running
with Taylor Swift. Well, John, congratulations, man. We are so happy for you, so proud of you, brother. And it's the GameStop up on Monroe Street. Go see John if you need any of your gaming needs. And make sure you ask for him because I believe there's no one that's going to take better care of a customer than you.
Absolutely.
GameStop is lucky to have you. This is your first stop to owning the company, my friend. So
Maybe I'll buy some stock.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
No, don't do that. Don't do
good
that.
stock tip for you.
Don't. No, that is not a good stock tip. That is not good. Shame. Don't do that.
Shame. All right. Thank you, John. I appreciate you, brother. Good luck on your first day.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome.
John Myers, everybody. Now a GameStop employee.
That's so cool. That was like his first choice. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to just take any job. You know, he wanted something that you have to have passion to walk there every day.
Dude,
Yeah.
And it's true. When you have an employee like that dude is going to show up all the time. You don't have to worry about it, and he's going to be in a good mood and he's going to take care of the customers. And
Dude,
He's a manager's dream because he's the ones you could call and be like, so and so called off. Can you come in? And then I don't have to work the shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the cat that other like employees don't like.
Yep.
He's like, but of course, John showed up to work. Of course. Why would you?
Level 3, John. We were all trying to close the store.
Yeah.
Text messages are going back and forth, and we're like,
That's how people feel about me showing up with my broken toe.
you broken toe.
He's doing
Of course,
Jesus'
Donnie.
work.
Wait, Donnie, how many times have you used your broken toe in a sale?
This
To
everyone.
try to get sympathy, and get them to just over that line.
I'm guessing, Donnie, every customer knows about your broken toe this week. That's
Right?
Yeah.
No, because they don't care. I only had Monday was the only day I was like limping really bad, so that's the only day I had told customers. Otherwise, I don't. They don't care about my toe.
You should dress it up in the wintertime and put it in a toe neck.
You're like, look, I understand that this payment is a little bit more than you were wanting to have, but I'm playing with a broken toe here. All right, I came in to get you this deal.
Yeah.
All right, just sign on that dotted line.
I don't know.
I was just telling my guys at work. Oh, sorry.
I don't know who's echoing, but I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I don't think it's me. But I wanted to say, Donnie, the rental company put me in a 2021 K5, Kia K5, right. And it's I love it. So I thought it was really expensive, and Donnie said that it wasn't. But here's what I'm doing today, Donnie. I'm taking it out to my mom and dad because my dad wants to see it, and he's ready to trade his car in. He's been talking about it. So I'm going to take it out there and show him. And then if he comes and sees you and buys this car, I want your commission. I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the work.
All right. Does anyone have I love Josh. Is toe guilting a thing? All right. Let's see. I got a bunch of stuff here. Has anyone got anything before we get to Ebenezer? Okay. Robin Thicke, who is, of course, the son of Alan Thicke. He had the song Blurred Lines. And he's reflecting on losing himself amid drug and alcohol abuse in a conversation with Dax Shepard on his podcast. He said that he lost himself, that he's finally woken up. He went through his darkest days. The Masked Singer judge admitted, my father, my house, my mentor, my addictions, they all hit me at the same time, and I hit a wall. I don't want to be that person ever again. He struggles amid his Blurred Line success in 2013, which were well documented. He's divorced from his wife, Paula Patton. The copyright lawsuit, infringement lawsuit of the estate of Marvin Gaye, because it's obviously was a ripoff of that song. He was using the opioid painkiller Vicodin mixed with alcohol, left him in a haze for a full year. Said it wasn't until my 30s that addiction problems surfaced. He said, before I was in control of my faculties, I was a beer and glass of wine kind of guy. It wasn't until the touring and the partying and that lifestyle. You just think you can manage it all. You think you can keep it going at that pace, and then your habits catch up with you. And there you go. That Robin was really having some issues, but now he is back, and he's got something coming out. But I don't know, other than Masked Singer, I can't remember. But anyway, Robin Thicke is working on his stuff.
Straight Lines, I think, is what it's called now that he's clean and sober.
it's his follow-up,
as opposed to Blurred Lines.
Right.
That was good.
I loved it.
It was good.
Jessica Simpson recalls feeling saddened beyond belief after Nick Lachey moved on with her from Vanessa Manillo, who is now Vanessa Lachey. It's look at her. Her new memoir is called Open Book. She's the Dukes of Hazzard.
You sure it's not called Pop Up Book?
You said it was heartbreaking.
I don't get that.
She's not the smartest. Remember, she didn't know if Chicken of the Sea was
actual chicken.
Was actual chicken.
I mean, listen, I think about that quote often, and it's a real question. Okay, you guys. Seriously.
No, it's not. It's not a real question.
I can see how that would be confusing. So I'm on her side for this one.
You remember Newlyweds? I mean, at that time,
I was obsessed with the Newlyweds. It was my favorite show.
Yes, reality television had just kind of taken off, and that was one of the big. What are some of the other? The Osbournes was a big one. Of course,
honestly, Real World. It's so hard for me to say that, but that was like the first. I was just thinking about it the other day. The first like legit reality show, and I was obsessed with that too. Yeah. And I like applied. There was like a Real World book that you could get at the bookstore, and in the back was like an application. And I was like 14 filling out the application to be on the Real World.
Here's the other thing too is that I was obsessed with MTV at the time. I remember when they would do MTV Spring Break. And I would sit home for we would look forward to it. And I would sit home for like 3 or 4 days and just watch every single show over and over and over. And just
I don't ever want to hear you say again that you don't understand why kids watch videos of kids playing with toys instead of playing with toys.
That's
because
true. That was kind of that.
Have spring break instead of having spring break. So you don't get to complain about that ever again.
Well, but that's I couldn't go to spring break, and there was actually entertainment. Like Snoop Dogg would be on there doing like a Newlywed game or something, and they were playing games and doing stuff. So it wasn't just
Singled Out.
Maybe you're right.
Singled Out. Yes, Singled Out was so good.
So good. I mean, I would sit there and MTV2 is very interesting. They did it to where they would run one show into the next. Like most shows run 58 minutes and 30 seconds. So that last minute and a half of the network is for commercials and promos. And then the next show would start at the top of the hour. MTV would end one show and start the other one right then. Mm-hmm. So you would get sucked into the next show. And I swear to God, you could sit there all day and watch MTV and not even realize you just watched it for like 8 hours because it would just run from one show to the next show to the next show. It was MTV back in the day. I was just obsessed with MTV and the reality.
The Grind.
The Grind. Yes.
I don't know if I remember that. Were they just dancing the whole time, like to DJ?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what is it? VRL? What was it with the Carson Daly? What was it?
TRL. Yeah. Total Request Live. Yes.
Yes.
That was a good one too.
When
show was awesome.
Brittany would be on there all the time, or I would just get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, Brittany's gonna be on TRL today. I gotta watch it. It's live.
Oh, do you remember the good old days of MTV?
It was like 20 years ago.
It was the good old days.
We used to sit and listen to Yo MTV Raps with Ed Lover. Oh, Ed Lover. Does anybody remember Fab Five Freddy? Oh,
it was longer ago than 20 years.
I graduated 20 years ago.
Yeah.
21.
No.
Yeah,
Wait,
20 years. 20 years
somehow
ago.
Carson Daly was still 40.
Wait, hold on. I know. Hold
20
on.
years ago was 2001. You guys, that was in the mid 90s.
Oh, okay. I graduated 17 years ago. Holy shit, I am old. Oh my God. So yeah, it was way before then.
Well, and then TRL came towards the end. That was a new run, but it went from 98 to 08. So it was a 10-year run. But I'm telling you, MTV I was just obsessed, and just reality shows, like I said, the Osbournes, the Newlyweds. I'm trying to think of some other big ones that were
the only actual show that I liked on MTV that wasn't them playing music videos was Cribs.
You remember music videos? I mean,
I like VH1 pop-up video.
Yes, I was just gonna say that, Gina. I loved pop-up video, and sometimes I'll get on YouTube and like try to search for the Mariah Carey video that because I was so obsessed with her, and they would give like little nuggets of personal information about her, and I would just be like in awe, like, oh my God, she's a real person. She does real things.
So anyway, back to Jessica Simpson and her book. She said that she shared in an excerpt that that it was heartbreaking to learn that her ex-husband's relationship with Vanessa Lachey just months after they went their separate ways. She wrote in her diary, "So Nick, you're with another already? Seems that you forgot the love you spoke to me. I'm saddened beyond belief, alone in the dark, with no one to call my own." In the memoir released just last Friday,
seems a little dramatic.
In the memoir released just last February, Jessica detailed how their marriage of 4 years publicly unraveled as they starred on the MTV series Newlyweds. Nick and Jessica, though they assume the reality show was the cause of their divorce, she says that's not true. I don't believe that the show is what tore our marriage apart. Nick and I were very good at being together publicly and on camera. We were best at our relationship when we were singing together. I felt like we were at home in that place. But as far as doing the reality show, we kind of had fun with it until the end, until we started having marital problems from there. I remember when they broke up, it was devastating. It was devastating when they broke up.
That book came out last year, like around this time, and I read that open book literally in one day. Like
Did you really?
It was so, I mean, it was just so juicy. And if you loved them around that time,
well, again,
it's just so easy to read.
Again, they were some of the first celebrities that we went into their lives because they were one of the first big reality shows. So you really felt like you had a vested interest in their marriage. So when they broke up, it was devastating for a lot of people because now there's so much reality shows. No one even knows what's on the air. But back then that wasn't the case. Go ahead, Dean.
Like honestly, I mean, who would ever in their life ever want to date somebody who writes songs? I mean, honestly, like even as you would get a breakup letter and you'd be like, bitch, you wrote a chorus in my breakup letter? Like, was that necessary? Like, why, refrain, repeat for what? What?
Okay, this is funny, but babe, I'm just gonna have to share this, but he knows about this. My first ever serious boyfriend, that's how I broke up with him, but it wasn't my own song lyrics. I printed off Fergie's Big Girls Don't Cry and highlighted the most poignant parts of the song. Yeah, that was my breakup letter.
That's
awesome.
Peak 90s teenager.
Yeah, please see highlighted excerpts.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I was 18 or 19, so yeah. But
awesome.
I'm still embarrassed about that though. To this day, I'm like, what? Why? That was some weird shit. Why would you do that?
That is so baller. That is, and then awesome. and then the wise prophetic words of Fergie.
Of Fergie.
Big girls don't
Yeah.
cry. Please read highlighted
read her.
passages.
Yeah.
There's a guy.
The only
There's a guy out there right now who's retelling that story to other people
From the other side.
Can you
from the
believe?
other perspective.
Can you believe this bitch broke up to me with a Fergie song?
I know. Like you like wake up and you're like, wait a minute. There's sweater on his. There's spaghetti on his sweater already. Arms are heavy. What? You don't feel like this is? Did she steal part of this from Eminem? What the shit? What?
No. You got to wonder too, like that Pimp My Ride show. Someone Josh just brought it up, or Jason and Josh.
Yeah.
Kind of brought it up.
AKA, please pull me over.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
The Pimp My Ride. I remember one where they did a jacuzzi in the car, and I'm like, so 20 years later, where is that jacuzzi? Where's the jacuzzi car?
On a lot somewhere.
They actually took out a lot of those modifications after the episode.
What do you mean?
They never got to keep them. They never got to keep most of those modifications. Those were just for the episode.
Oh.
Yeah, like there was what they used to put TVs everywhere, and there was like one where they put little TVs in the mud flaps. For like no reason.
Nobody can see that. So
No.
I do. When you said "pull me over," aka "pull me over," every time I see, because I've been seeing them a lot lately. I don't know if it's because it's warmer, but like a lot of pimped out cars, and I'm like, how can you be so brave? It looks like you're just like asking to like be seen.
You know what? And here's the thing: that's a cat that's got insurance and he's got a clean driving record, and he knows there ain't. Bitch, pull me over. I dare you. I paid my cell phone bill today. I got my finger on the record trigger. Show me something.
Dude, it's funny. I went by a car lot yesterday, and I saw an Explorer, I don't know, an SUV limo on a car lot, and I'm like, dude, we could do this.
Oh, Andrew.
I could drive, and Demetrius can drive. And we could just if you had a chance to do a limo, would you want to go with a limo dude, or would you want to go with one of us, or like two of us in the front seat, the bachelor party in the back? Dude, people would totally hang out.
Stop. You know what? Andrew is the personification of what cocaine does to you. Cocaine is the oh my god, every idea you have is fucking amazing. Oh, absolutely, bro. You know what? Absolutely. This is Andrew is cocaine.
Okay,
He is that evil like little dude who's just like, yeah, I think you can fly, bro. I just don't think you're gonna jump hard enough. And if you fall, it's because you didn't want it bad enough.
But here's the thing: would you, if you've ever had a limo, and I've had several limos, it's awkward. The relationship between the driver and you is awkward, and if it could be one of us, and we're like having a good time with you,
it's literally just a bigger Uber.
If Donnie P is driving me, are you kidding, dude? The party has just gone up 10 notches.
Yeah, and I really need Donnie to pay attention to the road. I don't need Donnie engaged in a conversation with 18 people in the back trying to fucking entertain.
I would rather my limo driver ignore me.
Yeah,
let me be on my way.
Yeah, no, I don't want to look up and be like, "Hey, Donnie, what are you doing back here?" Yeah.
Cruise control, my good man.
I know.
And Scott said, "Yes, it was Burning Hill." Scott saw the limo too. Scott, Burning Hill. It was.
He probably had the same idea. You guys should get together.
Say, yeah, who else in this city had the same idea as Andrew?
You know
Raise your hand. Raise your virtual hand in the comments.
But here's the thing.
There you have business partners, Andrew. There you go.
And then, like, I you know what? We blow people a lot of shit, but especially when things sound crazy. But you know what? There's a guy who was successful who showed up at his house with a limo, and his wife was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "I'm making a change." You know, and she was like, you come home with a limo. And he's like, "I'm going to drive a limo." And then he pursued, and then he was successful. It's crazy sometimes. Like, we really want to shit on people who are dreamers. Like,
no, I'm not.
Like,
I'm
no,
just
no,
teasing.
and I'm
I
not
think
saying
it's a great
you.
idea.
I'm
it's a good idea.
But and there are people who just have ideas and dreams, and constantly something bombards their brain, and they have to spit it out without really. But here's the thing: without those people, then where do you have anybody who's going to be like, you know what? If they did it, then so can I.
I just had this conversation with somebody, and it was that if taking risk, reward is you're rewarded by taking risk, and risk is scary.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to change your circumstances, I know what it was. It was John Tursky. I did the show, the Monday Medium show with him, and he said that's scary. And but the only way you're going to change what you don't like is by making a change. And taking a risk and doing something that you're not comfortable with. And here's the other thing, and this doesn't happen to men too much because men are pretty much the same. They're all 12-year-old boys. It doesn't matter if they're 12 or 52. Men are pretty much don't change. Women go through cycles. And I think and Colleen said this, which is so true. She said, what if God put this pandemic upon us, releases pandemic upon us for us to say, we need to reevaluate what the fuck we're doing. And that, life is just, we're just out of control. And then if we go back to exactly, we got lost. And if we go back to exactly what we were doing before, we haven't learned anything. So the people that use this as an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to reevaluate, and I'm not going to, I'm going to spend more time at home. I'm going to spend more time with the family. I'm going to appreciate things more. I'm going to do things more. If you don't take that, you've lost an opportunity. And what was the other thing? And so anyway, we talked to some women that called in to his show. And they were like, we feel different. Like, I feel different. I feel like a new person. I feel like I don't like my circumstances. I'm ready to change them. And then, like, I have a new attitude. I'm a new girl. And then you walk outside or go in the living room or jump on Facebook or whatever, and everyone else is still the same. And they've squashed your desire to do something different.
Totally agree with
that. You have to change the people around you sometimes, because just because you're ready for change doesn't mean they're ready for change, and they can either stifle your change or just not be supportive of it, because and for two reasons. Number one, they're not in the same place, or they don't get it, or they're scared of it. They're scared if you change. Well, hey, I'm comfortable where I am. I'm comfortable where we are, where our relationship is. If you change, what the fuck's going to happen to me? So they will sabotage your change because they're like, well, no, I like you back the way you were. I don't want all this newfound you. You finding yourself. And I really think that there's a lot of that going on. A lot of women, and there are a lot of men, unfortunately, that aren't strong enough in themselves to support that change. Instead, they try to sabotage that change, and women need to.
1 second, D.
Go ahead.
I gotta go, but I wanted to say happy birthday to my sister real quick. So happy birthday, Tia. I love you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Bye, Gina.
Bye, guys.
Go ahead, D. What were you gonna say?
Z, I agree with that. What I would kind of disagree with is splitting it down gender lines. Because I will say that you will find there are plenty of men on a side who will see like their partner grow and not like that change, because change means that maybe they'll find something better, and so they try to keep her where she's at. They don't want you experiencing new things. They don't want you finding like other things that like bring happiness to you. And so they try to stifle that. It's not just, I would never just put it on one specific gender and then say that there's like, and then men aren't strong enough to push back on that. I will say there are people who don't enjoy watching other people, pursue their passion. And they will do whatever is necessary. And maybe that's not a conscious thing. Maybe it's an unconscious thing, but they will do what they can to keep that person back, to keep you where you are, because they would much rather see you at their level than watch you maybe succeed.
Well, and it's not exclusively gender, but I mean, it just seems to be that's there are no absolutes, but it's a lot of times like I said, women evolving and changing or whatever. But yeah, it can happen both times. And the other thing too is that people are scared to fail. Successful people, we've never heard of their failures. But if you read about any successful person, they were probably a lot of failures in that point. We just don't hear about them because they were successful. And the greatest quote that I don't know who said it, but to be successful, you only have to have one more success than you do failure. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and that's it. And if you don't try, you're never going to change. Again, if you're not happy in your circumstances, you got to take risks, and it's scary, and I get it. But you have to do it. And
there's so many unevolved people walking around like that you will come into contact with every single day. And when you're doing your best to evolve and change and grow, it's like so freaking painful. Yeah. You're like, what is wrong with you? And like, but also I can see the side of it too, where you want to stay comfortable. Like if you're like, there are some people who are just so fine with this, like just staying right here. And there are a lot of people who are not and are always trying to be better and better and better. And those two people together can be frustrating for both sides. I think that. Well,
but and it can be scary, but it can be scary for the person that's not that's comfortable and not the change. It's scary when you see your a person, whether it's friend, significant other, doesn't matter. When you see them, but it's
or even a total stranger too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
I feel like that's why people are so nitpicky about like celebrities, because it's like they're doing some shit and you're not. Yeah. So you can like rip on them on a computer because you don't have to say it to their face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing that's annoying is that again, it's we don't accept apology culture. It's like if someone does something and they apologize, well, it doesn't matter. You still want full punishment for them when
apology doesn't mean no consequences. And apologies oftentimes from the celebrity or politician point of view are forced and done for PR purposes, not because of actual apology.
But you don't know that.
Yes, we do. If somebody takes 3 days to apologize for something that outrages them, that's because they've run it through their agent, they've run it through their manager, they've run it through their PR, and they've come up with something to do. It's not because they're actually sorry, it's because they're trying to rehab their image.
People saying so. Go ahead, D.
What that says to me is that they realize that what they said, because I'll guarantee you, Chris, and I shouldn't say this, I will say 9 times out of 10 what gets people in trouble is because they don't think about what they say. And so then when you take 3 days to really consider the effects of what you said, how the ramifications affected the people who follow you, and maybe your fans, and maybe the people that you said something against, and then you apologize. Absolutely. It's 3 days. I want to see you marinate in it for 3 days to know, because if you're like this, oops, my bad, sorry, that doesn't mean you've learned from it. That just means that you understood that what you just said was wrong, and you can't say those things in public.
How many times of us, even when we're fighting with let's say a significant other, and we've thought about over 24 hours, we don't look at it the same way that we did when we were hopped up in it. And you look, or
even hours.
Yeah.
How many times have you found yourself outside going, you know what, maybe I didn't have to like escalate it to that point. Right. And now you want to go back. Yeah. Or now you want to go back in the house and you want to go like this. You're like, hey, you know what? I was outside and maybe some of the shit that came out of my mouth was hasty. And but I take time to think about but I needed that time. And that, I guess, really, there's nothing more infuriating when somebody walks away from you in an argument because they need time.
I guess I'm mostly talking about when you get a politician or a celebrity apologizing, they do their qualifier. They do their qualifier apology. I'm sorry you felt that way.
Right. No, I agree.
I'm sorry that you misunderstood what I meant.
There are people that PR apologize, but my point is that when you have an emotional attachment to somebody and they apologize, you tend to accept it. If you don't have an emotional attachment, it's like fuck them.
You did it.
I don't care if you apologize.
But even if the person apologizes, doesn't mean consequences don't happen.
Well, no one ever said that, Tifel.
He literally just said that before I commented the first time. He goes, he
said that the culture doesn't accept apologies. That's what he said.
He said the culture doesn't accept apologies. They still want consequences. Yeah, being apologetic doesn't mean you don't have consequences. Yes, you did. We can
if your idea of a consequence is that you completely write someone off because they did something that offended you, then I don't think that's an appropriate consequence. You can't not give people another chance. That's just
you don't get a lifetime.
Not life.
You don't get a lifetime. You don't get for a mistake you made. I mean,
we all make mistakes.
You can't continually punish somebody because you feel like they haven't paid you their pound of flesh.
Right.
You know, that's not what you should wish upon anybody. What you should wish upon somebody is that they learn from their mistakes and that they come out on the other side a better person. You don't get to look at them and then say, you know what, until I feel like you've done your atonement, then this is how you get to be treated by me. And then if that's the case, then if that's how you feel, then this isn't about what that person has done. This is more about how you approach the world and what you feel like the world owes you.
And it's just amazing to me that people will get write other people off. You write them off, but yet you won't you don't realize how many mistakes you've made and hope that someone else will accept your apology. And so
they would give you the benefit of the doubt too, to get a redo.
Yeah, or give you the benefit of the doubt, and we don't give that to other people. And and I said this once before, and I'll say it again. And this is not a critique of Donald Trump, but he's in the point where he doesn't apologize for anything, and so he doesn't apologize for anything, and he's going along in life fine. What is your motivation to apologize if you're going to apologize and if people and then you get written off? Instead, you might as well just say, whatever, and just go on through life and not saying. Apologizing makes it worse for you, and it shouldn't be that way. An apology should be like, okay, now you've admitted what you've thought about it, you admitted it. Okay, now we can move forward from here, and into other things. But we have not. Currently we have not fostered and I'm sorry a society. We just haven't. It's a one and done society, except if it's you, then you always want the second chance, but you don't want to give anyone else the second or third chance or the 20th chance or the 100th chance. All right,
I was gonna say everybody deserves a second, 4th, 10th, 12th chance. Okay.
Dude, every day
we're all doing our best.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Especially if you're a parent.
Every day I fuck something up.
Right?
I know.
Tifel, let's get into WTF. Everyone's got to go, so we want some good stuff from you today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is no news out of the stands today, so I do apologize.
The update means you're staying on it, which is good.
Now, Hiroro, it's Hiroro Inc. It's in Japan. I don't know how to pronounce it. There you go. Has announced a new company policy around Japanese pop star idols. Basically, if your favorite pop star idol is holding a concert or live event, you can take the day off or leave early as long as you arrange it a week ahead of time. Only in the cases of guerrilla events or unannounced events are you allowed to leave work early on the day without prior notification. You can get full paid leave up to 10 days if your favorite idol graduates. You can take 3 days if it's your second favorite idol or otherwise an idol that is not necessarily your number one. You may take full paid leave up to 10 days if your favorite idol gets married. And depending on the amount of mental damage, it is possible to negotiate for extra days.
How do you prove your love of these pop stars?
I don't. It is unclear.
I would like to list them in your order.
Yeah.
When you get hired, you have to come with a list of your favorite artists.
We are literally talking about a country who, at one point in time, their population were throwing themselves off of bridges and patios because work was so stressful. Like all they did was a good Japanese citizen works and does his job, and they were like, yep. And then people were dying. And now look at it. Now they're getting pop. They're getting pop holidays.
Yeah, we don't even have paid family leave, and they're giving pop star idol leave.
What's the big group B2B? What's the big group right now? The whole country just takes the time off. They're like Backstreet Boys, but they're Asian.
Dude, you know how much power you can have? Like, if all you need is an amp, a couple of mics, and a speaker to shut a country down.
Wonderful.
So, a Jacksonville, Florida mom, Edith Riddle took.
Josh says, I sat through Donnie's toe brew segment for no stand news. Let me down.
They're not that, Josh. They're not that interesting. I'm sorry. So anyway, no. The Edith Riddle of Jacksonville, Florida, took her daughter for a meeting with the vice principal at the school, and she on her way out, her daughter took her on a detour specifically by the cafeteria so her daughter could then harass and push and start punching on another girl. And so she pushed her down to the ground, starts punching on her. And then Edith, not to be outdone, joined her daughter and started beating on this girl as well. Now, it should be noted that at this point, she was also wearing a boxing glove the entire time that she was at the school. And her explanation was, it's glued on, I can't take it off.
That is definitely the most WTF news you've ever shared, in my opinion. What?
The victim suffered abrasions to her knees and forearms on there. Edith was arrested for assaulting a minor.
What in the flesh?
Wait, no, what?
Well, I think I might outdo myself on this next one, actually. Up in the UP in Michigan on Wednesday morning, about 4:15 a.m., a man woke up with a gun to his head. The person who had invaded his home and held him at gunpoint demanded his 2 cats that lived in the home.
Oh.
Nothing else. The guy the article does not specify the type of cats or anything. All we know is the suspect fled with at least one of the cats.
Are we sure he wanted the cats? The guy just didn't go, give me all your pussy. and the dude looked around. He was like, I got 2 cats. And this is
all I got.
This is all I got. And the guy just turned around.
All I know is that this guy probably took the term cat burglar way too seriously.
You think that was a better story than the boxing glove mom?
Yeah. That one makes a little more sense anyways.
How does that make any sense?
Because if it's a cat that's very expensive and this dude needs money, he's gonna come in and steal a cat so he can resell it. A lady who says she's got a boxing glove glued to her hand while all of the people in a school watched her walk around this way. That is way what the F.
Yeah, and I guarantee you they were having a meeting about the girl who she was wearing the boxing glove for.
Yeah.
She didn't like how that office meeting went. And she was like, guess what?
I'm taking it into my own boxing glove. I'll fix this.
Here's my favorite. Here's my favorite. Well, I don't know my favorite, but of the morning. Jason says it's pronounced and then writes the same word. It's like if it's written.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification, Jason.
Yeah.
Now we get it, Jason. Thanks.
Like I said, Hiroro.
Yeah.
A Huntington, West Virginia man.
Lost you're still going.
Yeah. I got one more story.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's hear it.
Huntington, West Virginia man lost his wallet. It got found and turned into the police, and they found his contact information, and they called him up and said, "Hey, would you mind, coming down to the station? We got your wallet." Mm-hmm. And he says, "Sure, I'll come down." What he completely apparently forgot about was he had drugs in his wallet. So he comes down to the police station and swears out that is his wallet. And then they turn out and they arrested him. And then when they searched his car, they found heroin, crystal meth, and heroin laced with fentanyl. And so he was arrested for possession and then possession with intent to sale, and he's on a $50,000 bond right now.
Well, that's all that shit gets thrown out in a minute because chain of custody. How do I know that you had my wallet and didn't put those drugs in there?
Yeah,
you didn't tell me what was in there. You just called me and said you had my wallet. I didn't give you my wallet, and then
why'd you put drugs in there?
Why'd you put drugs in there? And now the drugs that you found in my car you can't use because you used the drugs that you said you found in my wallet to get in it.
Look at Demetrius.
Not bad, D.
We found
that was good.
My calling, my friend.
When I was in middle school, I went out with my grandfather out onto the lake, and he used to carry this little pouch thing with him that had his cell phone and address book. And then because he had a couple heart attacks, he carried a clear vial with a red cap of something called no salt, the salt substitute. So when he went out to eat, he could use that. And we were leaving, and he put the pack on top of the car and forgot about it. And we drove away, and somebody else found it on the ground, turned it into the police. The police saw the cell phone, the address book, and the vial of white powder. And then a few hours later, they call up my grandfather to come pick it up. Mm-hmm. And so we go down there. Turns out he had to bring the jar of no salt with him. They had drug tested the no salts.
But if they drug tested it, but if they drug tested, they should have known that it wasn't drugs.
Well, all they knew was that it wasn't like. All they knew was that it wasn't cocaine. That's all they knew.
And so that people say cocaine again one more time.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
No, cocaine.
People just knew it.
They knew it.
People knew it wasn't. People knew it wasn't cocaine.
Yeah. Cocaine. Yeah. So they go.
I've never heard it said like that before. That's funny.
Yeah, I say it like that on purpose all the time.
All right, there it is. WTF News, Ebenezer Bushrod. Thank you, Chris Tiefel, Donnie P, Ashley P, Demetrius Nicodemus, I'm Andrew Z, Regina in Georgia. We'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye.